All right, 8th graders, today you are going to be coloring the periodic tables families. You will need these 9 colors from the boxes at your tables, so make sure you have those available to you. If they need sharpened, you can do that as needed. Students, you will read through each slide as you go along. Please help each other with directions and how to label. This is your notes, and it is worth a grade. So first off, everyone needs to make sure they have this handout. It's two-sided. This is the side we will start on, and this is the side you will use. So you can spend some time reading through this. Shouldn't take real long. Now, this is what you're going to do as you go through this assignment. Like I said, be as neat as possible, as organized as possible. The next slide does have an example of what the table looks like, but I also have one in front of you here. So this is basically your finished product, what it's going to look like, and you will color in the boxes fully, not just with lines like I did. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to add your name to the top right-hand corner with your hour. And then at the bottom of the page, you're going to add this information. You're going to define periods. You're going to define groups. You're going to define shells. And you're going to define valence electrons. Now, as you go through each next slide, you're going to color and name your groups at the top middle using your color labels. Group 1, alkali metals. This is what that will look like. There once again is where your definitions go in the bottom corner. Periods, groups, shells, valence electrons. Okay, next thing you're going to do is you're going to label the periods. We said already the periods are the rows of the periodic table. They go horizontal. There are 7 in total. The lanthanides and the actinides are both in the 6th and the 7th period. So you'll number down the left side 1 through 7. Be sure to number the lanthanides 6 and the actinides 7. That's along the left side right there. You'll notice it says the periods equal the number of shells. So period 1, there's 1 shell. Period 2, there's 2 shells. Period 3, there's 3 shells. That'll be important for tomorrow. So you'll color the groups just like I have on here. The next few slides, it'll tell you how to color them and what color to color them. We're going to start with hydrogen. Hydrogen is not a group, it's just its own individual element, and you will color that light blue. Your first group, group 1 of the periodic table, is your alkali metals. Remember, you already colored hydrogen light blue, so it is not a member of this group. It has 1 electron in the outer shell, since it is group 1. And you're going to color this group green. Lithium through francium. Right there. Your next group, group 2, is the alkaline earth metals. Since it's group 2, there are 2 electrons in the outer shell. You are going to color the alkali earth metals blue. Your next group is called the transition metals. These are groups 3 through 12 on your periodic table. We count them just as the transition metal. That's what we name them as a group. You are going to leave these white. Do not color them. Your next element or group is the boron family. The boron group has 3 electrons in the outer shell, since it is group 3, and you are going to color this group orange. Your next group is the carbon family. This is group 4. There are 4 electrons in the outer shell, since it is group 4. You will color the carbon family red. Your next group is the nitrogen family. This is group 5. There are 5 electrons in the outer shell. You will color the nitrogen family tan or brown. Your next group is the oxygen family with the chalcogens. This is group 6. Since it is group 6, there are 6 electrons in the outer shell. You will color the oxygen family pink. Group 7 is your halogens. There are 7 electrons in the outer shell. Since it is group 7, remember those numbers typically always match. You're going to color the halogens purple. And your last group is group 8, the noble gases. Helium has only 2 electrons in its outer shell because 2 is the most it can hold. The rest of the noble gases have 8 electrons in the outer shell, which means that they are full, and that's why they are called the noble gases. They are not reactive with other elements. So you will color them yellow. The bottom, you have your rare earth metals. Some are radioactive. You will leave the rare earth metals white. And these are the elements a part of the lanthanide series and the actinide series. Now, once you're done coloring and have it labeled, and remember, this is how you're going to label it. Make sure you name each group. Make sure you put a color square with each name of group. That way you know which is which and can associate those elements with that group. Now the point of the groups is that these elements are very alike in their characteristics, and their properties, especially in bonding. So if I would ask you what element is very similar to silicone, which is element 14 in the carbon family, you could tell me any element in that group, and that would be the correct answer. So lead, tin, germanium, carbon. Once you have that completed, like I said, you're going to turn your paper over. There's a lot more information on the other side. This has your atomic mass or weight rounded for you, atomic number, protons, electrons, neutrons, and how to find those in the top middle. Now, what you're going to do on this side is you're going to define these three words. On the top left side of the page, you're going to define metals, nonmetals, and metalloids. Once again, that goes on the top left of the page. And there are those definitions again. So you can copy those down. Now, once you have those definitions down, lightly with your pencil, you're going to shade in the metalloids, which are colored in blue on this chart. There are 8 of them in total. You will start with boron and go down to polonium and astatine. So here's what that's going to look like on your periodic table. You can see we started with boron and we went down the staircase to polonium and astatine. Now, here are some just reminders for you. This table is your notes, and it has a lot of information for you. It tells you what the atomic number is. It also tells you what the atomic weight or atomic mass is. It tells you how to find the number of protons and electrons. Atomic number equals number of protons. Atomic number equals number of electrons. It also tells you how to find your number of neutrons. Your number of neutrons equals the atomic number, the atomic weight minus the number of protons. So once again, the atomic weight minus the number of protons. Lastly, it has this key in the corner. It tells you about the states of matter, if it's a solid, liquid, or gas, if it's a radioactive element, and also if it's an artificially made element. So very handy and good use for you. You will use this every day, basically for the rest of the semester, so be sure to take good care of it, keep it. I will grade it for points based on how you did on it. Hopefully you had good luck with pausing the video and getting the information down that you needed. Thanks.